All right, just checking all the way around. I think OTR.net is up and the video is up and running.
Go or no go for liftoff.
So this would be the best way to find out what's broken around here. Hopefully not your radios. Trying to find the Jingle Singers.
They're out having a smoke.
Everybody was right here. Okay, it started if the Jingle Singers aren't here. All right, let's try this. This is the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I believe that's what we call this, the Old Tube Radio Network. On perhaps your Old Tube Radio right now, every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific. What is it? Daylight time now. There is some daylight coming out the window. Coming through the window, I should say. Hello, everybody. My name is Dennis, the selected net control for this evening version of the Old Tube Radio Network. And we're glad you are along to listen in and perhaps participate with your glow-in-the-dark radio when we start taking radio check-ins here in just a moment. But first, as we always do, the shortwave listeners find out what's happening and going on this week and what people are doing. So we will work on that, and then we'll be chatting with your tube radios, streaming at oldtuberadio.net, I hope. Also beaconing at a live YouTube stream that is at least live at this point. It may not be live when you are watching it in the future. And also archiving everything else. So here we go. Starting with 00, as we often do, week number 2. If you're playing the home game, look for the lucky 7-11. And I'm checking to see if Road Dog 507 is around. He is the 00 guy, and there he is, checking in. He gets the 2-for-1. Starting with 00 from Hudson Valley, New York, and places close by. Worldwide sideband of 507, AC 244. I was so busy this week I didn't even try to get into lower 16 and work on my AC number, but I will have time. Thanks, 41. We will catch you here in just a minute. If I do this correctly, there we go. You'll see yourself checking in as we go along here. SW1 is checked. SWL1 is checked in. Also SWL2, who is out listening. I saw him on Old Radio Night tonight, and here he is listening in on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Mr. OBP. I bet you gave us a propagation report way, way early. It looks like the sun cycle is up in the upswing. Sunspot number today is 11. So I think that means that there is one sunspot somewhere. SWL3, I will get a proxy check-in for Rob. Also, SWL40 will probably report there is a comet or two that is beaconing up in the sky along with Starlink. So we'll see where that is tonight. SWL4. SWL5. SWL6. Shortwave listener 7.
Number 7, checking in.
All right, checking in and sounding good, doing it. We'll see how the frequency behaves tonight. Thanks for listening.
And thank you.
Then we head up to SWL 13. You know, my comments are working in that I can see them tonight, but I can't comment on the comments. Because if I try to do that, things blow up. So I will try to comment on the comments. That is, I can't type a comment onto the comment, but I can vocally comment onto the comment. So that's what I will try to do when I see the comments, to comment on them, if that makes any sense. SWL 14.
Comment.
Speaking of comments, go ahead.
Yeah, you see it about 4 o'clock in the morning toward the northeast.
What is that? What are we seeing?
The comet.
Oh, the comet. All right. I was going to say that you could probably see me at 4 o'clock in the morning to the northeast, but I might be asleep. Okay, the comet. We'll talk about that. Let's see what's going on with the comet. See if it's a good pass for, you know, my headphones are doing the thing again, for the Echo, or the Starlink. The Starlink has not been good lately. All right, thanks for that. Cold 14. How about SWL 15? It is noisy. I'll leave the RF gain up tonight. SWL 16. SWL 17. Let me check for Eric. Sometimes he says hello from the video side. A lot of people out there. Butterbean is on tonight. And up to Mitch and Teresa. And X4000. X4000 ran over to the radio room. He's over there with Mr. Announcer cooking something up, no doubt. In the green room that's way better than what I have over here. I'm gonna start moving the control room over there, I think. SWL 18. SWL 19. And I have a note to Proxy and SWL 20. I wonder if they still called him out. Hello, Harvey. All right, a check-in from last week. Harvey is probably out listening. Perhaps one of our many SWLs. Who is out there? I didn't check the roster here. Starting in the front row, Hermosa Beach. Anoka, Minnesota. Charles. I think Charles was probably listening to me blathering on the test thing. He's right up in front tonight. As is New York. To Woodland Park, Colorado, hopefully listening for the 11-meter skip to come in, Fish Camp. San Francisco, I think that's X4000, Centerville, Virginia, coming up to you. Hendersonville, Tennessee, coming up to you. Somerville, South Carolina, coming up to you. Hello to Toll House, the unknown SWL. I can see you with the bag over your head. The group out of Squamish, British Columbia, always listening for this station. Hello to Canby, Oregon, coming up to you. Dallas, Georgia, coming up to you. Germantown, Wisconsin. Selma, Mariposa, some local stations tuning in. Directed net roll call, and the station, the tube radio stations coming up. SWL 21, Mr. JT, who was, as usual, the channel master control, working skip, and I think he was on sideband. He was on the Lafayette radio tonight. Let me see if I can pull in, if I get the right situation here. See if anything was going on the old radio night. Here's the audio.
Jennifer, well, I'm also washing my feet now, too.
All right.
That's a good deal.
He's on channel 12 on the Lafayette.
10-4. All right, well, I'm going to stand by.
Are we sounding good?
Okay, we'll stand by here, too.
All right, that is old radio night tonight. Where did my audio go? JT, you broke my radio. Let's turn that off. All right. Anyway. Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You broke my radio, JT. Anyway, I got you checked in.
You're in the mud.
Broke my ears.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what happened to my audio here. I went to play JT there. I'll show you a couple of things here. Hello. There's too many knobs. Hello. There's too many knobs and too many buttons. All right, let's turn that down. Sorry for that. That was probably way too loud. And looking at all right, that's better. Looking at the Urban meter. I'll work on it. 21's checked in. SWL 22. I'm still in the mud.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's over. No, it's there too. Sometimes I have to see if it's the. You know, if it's the. All right, there it is. If it's the internet stream that's bad, or it's everywhere around. That looks a little bit better on the Orban meter. Hello, test radio. That looks good. So here we go. Calling for SWL 22. That's Mark is in Texas. SWL 23. Mitch on the 23 Skidoo. He was out there tonight. He is doing whatever he does, wherever he does it. With the query, if the jingle singers were dyslexic, would they be single jingers? Pondering. I'll tell you, that's what they are right now. I'll have to go over there later on. I want to see some of the new things they are doing to the green room. I don't have a picture of it, but they have a cocktail napkin architect that is adding elevators and saunas and all sorts of stuff. So if you check in tonight, make sure you check out the green room. Make sure you're checked in. Over to SWL 24. SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis, 25 checking in. That's my only comment for tonight. Back to you.
All right, you have no comment on the comet. You're sounding good. I was working late, running around, so I missed Wednesday night. I missed Friday night, but and I'm almost missing Saturday night. You are sounding good. We got you checked in.
Thank you, Dennis.
Let me reposition the phoniums here. And I think you pay more for these things that they would work. SWL, page 2, SWL 27. You know, I actually heard Dwayne on 2 meters. He must have something up and running. So I'll get him proxied in. Let's see, where are we going? This was fantastic. You know, I was going to try and get a replay of this from last week. I don't think it's in my queue. Now, oh no, you know, I took it off. When out of the blue from Idaho, like they were walking down Blackstone Avenue, Chrissy and Dwayne checked in over the air. I'm not sure if that's going to happen tonight. We will see, but I do see you all on the main page here. So I will get 27 checked in. Looking good on the Old T Radio Network. I'm sorry, 28 is checked in. 27 is yet to be checked in. SWL 29 with the proxy check-in. Also a check-in for Mr. RFI. Dwayne, we got you checked in as well. Over to SWL 32. And Chrissy's saying it was really hot. It hit 83. You guys must be up at some altitude if it's 83 is hot. Because I know, what's Boise at, 2,500? I'm thinking you're higher up than that. We were 104, 105 today, or at least that. I think it's 100 right now. And it's supposed to be 108 tomorrow.
106 today is what they said on the news.
All right, 106. I would believe it. I would definitely believe that. SWL 31, Robert and Teresa in Hendersonville, and some of the listeners there as well. Got you checked in. SWL 32. Kind of backtracking, trying to stay on track here. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, Jingle Singers, Mr. Announcer, whoever happens to run amok in the studios tonight.
OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead, over. Was there a breaking station for OTR? Over. All right, nothing heard. Let's try nothing on 34. SWL 35, I think I saw Mr. Bill, since my comments are refreshing. It takes, there we go. Scrolling down, looking for Mr. Bill checking in from Cheyenne. I see you, Bill. You're looking good. I'm sure you're having your heat wave. What's the heat wave for Cheyenne? 75? 80 degrees, maybe? I don't know. Thanks for checking in. SWL 36? The station, this is OTR. Go ahead.
Yeah, Station 30 is trying to get in. It's real weak. I hear him way out in the background.
Oh, okay. Do we have conditions to Idaho? OTR is going to shut up for a second. All you guys with the antennas, listen in. OTR standing by. All right, we could have. I wasn't listening to the beacon, so anytime you can snap in on a check-in, we will grab you there. Thanks for the relay, and we'll see what we've got.
He just piggybacked on your signal.
SWL 30 checking in.
Hey, there it is. All right, SWL 30 once again. Got the pipeline. We've got 30 and maybe 28 as well. Over.
I'm not sure if you're coming back to me. Okay, you can hear me down there.
All right, somebody let them know we got them.
They got you checked in over the airways.
All right, thank you much. Appreciate it. 73.
All right, that is the Big Bad Idaho station, Mr. RFI and FTI, Chrissy as well, probably on the same microphonium, checking in again over the air. Gotta love that transmitter. We went to 36. Let's try 36 again. SWL 37.
37 here. Good evening, Dennis.
All right, from northwest Fresno to Idaho. Everybody's sounding good tonight. Got you in, Chris.
Yeah.
SWL 38. SWL 39. Hello. Looking at the meter. Yeah, I got at least 10 watts coming out of that. SWL 40. It's too early to be looking for the comet. So I don't know where he's at. SWL 41 check-in is 00 and still hanging out with us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thank you there, 507. Looking good. And SWL 42, I have a note to do a proxy for 42, which I will. '83 is melting temperatures. All right. I'll check out your QTH. My guess is, I think it's as the altitude 83 is that's summer. It's summer. What do you expect, right? SWL 43. SWL 44. Anybody hear Ray direct? Can't remember if he said he was going to be on the remote station or not. SWL 45.
Hey, Dennis, I may be off
Yeah, we got a fire at Kirkhoff down there, not very far away, so if you don't hear me the rest of the evening, that's where they'll cut us off. 45.
All right, yeah, there was a report that the power was out, so my guess is that's what's happening up there. So stay safe, and I'm glad you still have power, but keep an eye on that, and that's definitely more important than radios tonight.
Hope I keep it.
All right. Thanks for the update. And yeah, fire season is starting. It has started here in California. We certainly don't need any other wacky disasters, but at 106 degrees and 108 tomorrow and 103 on Monday, this is not the kind of weather, not the kind of conditions that we want our first responder firefighters to be happening and to be working with. Thanks, Paul. SWL 46. SWL 47. SWL 48. Yeah, Mitch, I saw Toonce's Buick out in the parking lot, or the parking area. There's no parking lot, but out in the parking area. So no doubt we might have some cats singing with the jingle singers tonight. Looking for SWL 48. SWL 49.
Hello, Dennis, the Miner 49er is here checking in, waving a hand to you and to all who are out there tonight. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. My family and I had a really good one, so hopefully you guys did as well, and we thank you for the check-in, Dennis.
Sounding good. At the microphonium, Brian. And somewhere not too far away, probably Country Mama. And yeah, I think they're still having 4th of July. Sometimes I hear the incendiary devices going off here, but not like it was on 4th of July. So we managed to stay safe. Got you checked in. Thanks for listening.
Hey, thank you. Yep, she's back there waving a hand. So thanks again. Take it easy.
Okay, next we've got SWL 50. SWL 51. I know Dave's been having the noise problem, so listen for Dave. He can't hear me here on the air. SWL 52. SWL 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53 checking in.
SWL 53. Hello, Bob. You are sounding good. And with that, we'll be turning the page. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, you're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. We are always hanging out here on Saturday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, channel 1127085, streaming at oldtuberadio.net. The video is sometimes up and running. It looks like it is tonight. And our purpose is to talk with, and share those classic tube radios with all of you. Our avid radio collectors will be out in force tonight, we hope, putting the radios on the air for everyone to enjoy. So that's coming up after the roll call. Stay tuned for that. Looking for SWL 54, who gets checked in. One of our in memoriam check-ins for Mr. Birdjammer. How about SWL 55?
55 checking in.
All right. Well, it looks like you've got power up there, so you must be hopefully out of the fire zone.
Is there a fire?
Yeah, something's going on. I think Paul said Kirkhoff. Something's up around that area.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, with this kind of weather. All right, you're sounding good. We've got you checked in.
Thank you.
And who's next? Phil, one of the owners of the, as he would say, Tram the Rig Refreshing, SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the Net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, I'm hearing the skip coming in, too. Sounding good, Phil. Got you checked in. Over. Next is SWL 57, and if I look right on my screen, which is easy to do, checking in from a stormy night in Kentucky. Coax Unplugged for Safety, doing the digital thing. Everyone have a great weekend. From Worldwide Sidebander 1942, Central Kentucky. Mr. BDA. Thanks, Brown Dog. Yeah, stay safe. We've got fires. You've got lightning, which can cause fires. What else? What else could go wrong? Thanks for checking in. Over to SWL 58. SWL 59.
Butterflies right now.
Man, the band is opening up here at Gray Line. And I missed the Friday night sideband, Ditchbank's sideband. And I heard that it was hosted by Mr. Bones, and he did a really good job. So sorry I missed that. That happens on Friday nights at 8 p.m., 36 lower, on 27365. Everyone is welcome on sideband for the Ditchbank sideband net on Saturday. So check that one out. Let's head over. Let's see, nothing for 59. I know this station is out loud and clear. SWL 60.
Thanks, Dennis. And evening time to all the fellas out there. SWL 60 checking in. Big Jake's base, the Galaxy, DX 2527.
2527 sounding good. I know you were out in the heat today, so hopefully the tube radios won't be putting out as much heat as the sun did today, and you'll be able to check them in if you feel up to it. You are sounding good. The 2901 base always doing what it should do. Thanks.
Thanks, Dennis.
SWL 23 reporting at 60 degrees at the beach. That happens. I grew up at the beach where it'll be 100 in the San Fernando Valley, and it'll be 65 and foggy out at the pier. All the fish. That happens. But unfortunately, we're not at the beach around here. Let's go over to SWL 61.
51 checking in, Dennis. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you through the skip. You're sounding loud and clear. And likewise, I hope you can hear me. Got you checked in, Dean.
Thank you, sir.
All right, he's got a great receiver. He always hears me no matter what. So I appreciate those people that have good receivers to pick me up. Hello to Worldwide Sidebander, WS 101. Keith from Pensacola listening in. The Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Not sure we're going to have conditions to Florida. I think it's all in the northwest. Let's try beautiful downtown Clovis, SWL 62.
How about an Old Tube Radio 709 up in the northwest corner trying to put it through? Downtown Clovis.
All right, downtown Clovis sounding good. Thanks, Rex. You are lucky tonight, as not only we're here in Clovis, but 709 up there in the northwest corner, one of our check-ins from afar, also waving a hand as well. So from beautiful downtown Clovis to what is it? Is it near Spokane, 709?
Yeah, I noticed you check in, you answer for Jim too. I made a mistake on that. I should have said Dennis.
Well, I got used to that after doing this for 25 years. When we were back in the net control days, whether you get called Ed or Fred or Rob or Jim or Kevin or let's see, who are the other ones? Richard or Ed or Fred or what's the other one? Wanda. I'll go by anything as long as you're checking in. .709, waiting for the skip to come in. Might even hear Oregon, Colorado tonight. Who knows? SWL 63. I see the stations from New York are waving a hand, so I'll get to 63 checked in.
Bitter glass from the past.
Yeah, they're 709. Are you on the B&W tonight? Over.
Yes, sir. Barker and Williams, BMW.
All right, you're sounding good. Of course, we are streaming at oldtuberadio.net for your audio gate. And thanks for waving a hand here for the Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Right back, Dennis. I got a lot of static up here tonight, but I can hear you okay, man. Tell everybody that I did say hello, man. I'm going to back up and listen to your show. I can hear every word you're saying up here right about now. Dennis, God bless, 709 Spokane, Washington.
All right, 709 up in Spokane, and we will make sure that we get the B&W 5100 checked in on the list tonight. Sounding good. Thanks for listening. So those 11 sunspots are helping us out tonight. Or not. Actually, I'm not sure if the sunspots really help us out much when the sun goes down, but the heat, the ducting is definitely helping us out. Could be that comet. Maybe the comet has charged the atmosphere. Directing that roll call, we'll get through this and check in some radios, so keep them handy. SWL 64. SWL 65.
65, checking in.
Always good to know my signal is working locally as well. We've got you checked in, Eric. Thanks.
Thank you. You're sounding good up here, and have a good evening.
So far, so good. Things are breaking, but I'm managing to fix them, so that's a good thing. SWL 66. SWL 67. Bill, who is listening from Canby, Oregon, up there. Where are you? There you are, up there on the balcony tonight. Spokane, the signals are a little bit long. The ducting is a little bit long, but you might, if you tune your radio to that frequency, might hear us sneaking in Oregon tonight. Or one of our many stations that actually might have a better antenna than I do. So, Bill, we got you checked in. Maybe we'll hear you if you're radioactive. Over to SWL 68.
Well, it's not 68, but how about 47?
Yeah, I can do 47. We talked to Idaho. We've talked to Washington. So why not? Why not 7 miles away rather than 407 miles away? You are sounding good. Over.
Thank you, and as always, greetings from the radio land. I have to tell you, that was exhilarating hearing from Washington. That was just absolutely awesome. Truly. So, thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might have more tonight as the sun goes down and things happen, so we will see. Anyway, you are sounding good here on the, what should I call it, on the ground wave.
Thank you. And also, thank you for mentioning that comet. I had read about that. It almost makes me want to set my alarm. I think they go off at, what, like 4 o'clock, 4:17 in the morning, something like that. It's supposed to be pretty spectacular, so we'll see if I can get myself out of bed at that early time.
Yeah, that's the report. I think if you're out and about at 4 a.m., and we might get some better reports on where to look, what azimuth, elevation, part of the sky, and if you safely have to, climb up onto the roof to get above the trees. So that's the deal. Sounding good. Directed net roll call. Radio's coming up. Let's try 68, SWL 69. Kenny from Tulsa, always checking in during the week on the video side, and sometimes he joins us here live and direct. Looking to see if he's out there yet. Doesn't look like it. Gary from Sacramento is listening in, trying to stay cool, probably where it's 100 plus as well, up the road a little bit. And hello to Mark, saying hello to everyone. And 101 saying, I think he's the only guy from Florida that makes it on here every week, maybe because he's old. Well, I'm old too. I've been making it for almost 35 years, so maybe that has something. Back 35 years ago, I wasn't old, and I still made it. So maybe it's just habit. But that's a good habit nonetheless. Looking for SWL 70.
Braco chart.
And the Braco chart, go ahead.
SWL 40 checking in.
All right, I thought maybe you were prematurely looking for the comet, which, from what I understand, isn't going to be hanging around until 4 a.m.
Actually, you're now able to see it after sunset. It will be quite low in the horizon.
Yeah, would it get better at 4 a.m.?
Well, eventually it'll be better after sunset, but it is better in the morning slightly. But yeah, just look a bit south of where the sun would set, and that's where you'll see it.
All right, south of where the sun would set. So we're looking west, southwest, through whatever trees and fog and streetlights. Okay, we'll see what's up with that. I think that's hopefully opening, making the atmosphere great for some skip conditions here. Let me call SWL 70. Thanks for checking in, Larry. Let me call SWL 70 again. Over to SWL 71. Stan, who's got a picture. I think that looks a lot like Mr. Announcer. That looks like our Mr. Announcer on the RCA 44 microphonium. Thanks, Stan, for checking in. I actually got a chance to skip through 20 meters. There's some ARRL contest going on. I didn't go to their website to find out what it was about. Sound like a lot of people enjoying that. SWL 72. SWL 73. I'm getting a check-in for SWL 73. John was on 2 meters earlier. Was it today? It was Friday, I think. SWL 74. Getting 74 checked in. It's probably too hot in the radio room to be wandering out there. And I'm sure at this temperature, you don't want to be running the 50,000 watt rig. Maybe a little too much heat. SWL 75. SWL 77.
Well, good evening, everybody, and 73s to all the listeners. 77 on the Tower of Power out of the Tower District, and that was really cool hearing 709 out of Spokane. That made my night.
I love it how they just kind of jump in there. I think you guys, all the big strappers that were on prior to the net, sort of opened the E layer up here, broke some holes, and everybody's jumping in. Boy, that B&W always sounds really top notch. And then, of course, like last week, Dwayne jumping in right on time. So we'll see what else we get tonight. You are sounding good yourself. We got you checked in. SWL 78. That's Richard from Everett, Washington. That's a possible station that he could be checking in tonight if he's on. Spokane is listening in, I see. And I'm looking to see on the update. Don't see anything updating here. SWL 79. I got something squeaking. I think it's a bird in the background. I've got the noise. I turned the noise gates back on. 4th of July, I had everything turned off so you could hear all the calamities going on. I listened to that back. You can just hear constant 2 hours of popping and crashing. I'm going to get Mr. DC checked in. He was on earlier with the gang before the net. He was one of the ones opening up the frequency here for the DX. SWL 80. Page 4, SWL 81. Getting Steve Areno checked in. He said he's going to be moving around and about. So make sure he gets checked in. You are checked in, Steve, if you're listening live or watching later on. SWL 82.
82, checking in from the Ditch Banks, Biola. Good evening.
And good evening. I got word that you were the host with the most, that I failed to check in on Friday because I wasn't around. So everybody said you did a good job.
Yep, I was the net controller for once. So anyway, yeah, missed hearing you out there, but hey, we got you out here tonight. So doing a good job, Dennis, and we'll just let it roll.
All right, trying to keep it from blowing up. So far, so good. I'm at about 50%. Thanks, Ron. SWL 84. Got a note here to get the gang checked in there, so we'll make sure that Mr. Cheerio's kid is in. SWL 85. John from Reedley, nothing heard. We will get 86, 87, and 88. That's the Mountain Girl, Tandy Girl, and Snowy Owl, respectively. SWL 89.
Break OTR.
The break OTR. Go ahead, please.
Pretty rough copy on you at 50 checking in.
All right, well, thanks for pulling me out of the mud, and hopefully you aren't in because there's some possible power outages and fire things going on up there, but it sounds like everything is cool in your area, literally. So we got you checked in, over. Okay, Mark having trouble hearing me, but he is checked in. Let's see, who else? We've got a proxy check-in for SWL 90. Over to Madera Town for SWL 92. We heard SWL 93 in earlier. Louis, take care. And we've got you checked in. Heard this station in earlier. Wonder if he was copying me. I did hear you, Dave. SWL 98. Yeah, you're sounding good. You're moving the S meter above the noise, so whatever your temporary situation there is still good.
All right, thank you very much.
And then we go up to SWL 103.
Station.
And the station, go ahead, over.
Proxy, Louis.
Yeah, I actually got Louis checked in. I heard him come by earlier, so I put a big X in the square. Thanks.
Thank you.
He's probably on the pre-recorded pre-net stuff checking in. I actually heard him on my receiver. SWL 103. Let's see, where are we going? SWL 109. SWL 110. SWL 111, Robert from Reedley checked in earlier via the digital side, said it was kind of noisy. I don't know if he tried. I don't think I heard him on the stream. SWL 113. SWL 114.
114 checking in.
And Mr. Rickshaw, sounding good as always. I will put the mark for 114. Thank you.
Thank you. And can you proxy in the one dispatch of Biola 58?
Yes, I will do that. Oh, I thought I did that. No, I didn't do that. I am doing that. All right, 58 is checked in, and we will mark the link. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thought I had done that. Thanks for reminding me. We are heading up to SWL 128 on the digital side, where 15 consecutive days of 90 plus, and more coming next week. And that is out in Virginia, near Fairfax, Virginia. Possible triple digits. We've been doing that here, but see, our humidity, when it's 105, our humidity is at 20%, maybe 18%, maybe less. Now, I won't say that makes it nice, but I bet it makes it nicer than when it's 98 degrees in Fairfax, Virginia. John Lee says he needs to move to Alaska. Got skip from Alabama and Mississippi rolling in. That was a little bit earlier in the evening. All right, 128. I know. I'll say it anyway. Stay cool. I guess air conditioning is a big thing there, right? SWL 131. SWL 133. And the Bob and Steve show out of Ohio. Let me say hello to Bob and Steve. They are working hard. They have got the construction people working hard over in the green room. I couldn't I couldn't capture there's a little floor plan layout. I wasn't able to capture it properly to put it on the screen here, but they're putting in a full bar, 12 bar stools. That's a lot. That's one for each jingle singer, Mr. Announcer, and maybe some of the band. No wonder it's always hard for me to find everybody. Stove with oven and microwave. You got a trash compactor and 2 trash cans. And I noticed they generate a lot of trash. I'm glad there's some trash cans. I was getting tired of picking up after everybody over there. So progress, and here I am in a broken office chair on this side of that wall, and a door, a door turned over so I can have a table. It's a nice door though. SWL 135. The tube radios are coming up. I hope it's not too warm here in Central California to key up a few radios tonight. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 137. Tony up at Coarsegold. Are you listening? Hello, 145.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis. This is Tony, 145 in Coarsegold. Yeah, I hope you can hear me okay better on this one of my Wednesday evening radios, Micromobile FT100D. I'm having issues with lately, and I'm trying to figure them out. So hopefully you can hear me tonight. We're coming through loud and clear. You're sounding good at Coarsegold tonight. Thank you for running the net.
Right, likewise. You're sounding really good here tonight, full audio. And I've got to check my notes. I crossed off your old call because I know it was upgraded, but I didn't. I always have people's calls next to their number here, and I noticed I didn't write it in, so I'll have to look for that. I think you sent me an email for the new call on there. So you're sounding good. The radio you've got now is top shape. Don't touch a thing. Over.
PD, Roger.
Again with the call. Over.
Alpha Juliet 6 Papa Delta AJ 6 PD, Roger.
Okay, I got it. I've inserted it into the net sheet here. All right, good call. I always like the alpha calls. People think you're DX. You'll get somebody from California wanting to, send you a QSL card to get that country they don't have, and you have to tell them, no, I'm in California as well. Thanks, Tony.
Break. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, the breaking station, go ahead, over.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Tony, I've got you upgraded. We fixed you on the list. You are officially, it's been changed. And like you said, when you check in, you're allowed at first, and you just fall off. But anyway, we made the necessary corrections. Anyway, thank you, Dennis, and hello, Tony, and back to you, Dennis.
All right, back to me in the studio. Very good, thanks. Thanks for the update and getting things updated. Jerry, Dwayne saying, thanks for the check-in. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Chrissy and Dwayne out of Idaho just sounded in. They said they had some southern states doubling, so we had some very wide openings. We heard you pretty good. If you listen to the playback, I think actually a couple times I heard you but didn't realize it was you, and then you came in really strong on the SWL 30 check-in. Mitch asking, are we going to hear a Q-Bird tonight? Well, I guess that's not for me to decide, but there's supposed to be, the Jingle Singers are supposed to have an extra special Q-Bird song ready to go if indeed we get a general radio with the Q-Bird tonight. So I am kind of anxious to hear if that's going to happen. 45 is in. Next we have SWL 147. And Neil was in. Let me scroll up because I think I got some. There he is. What is the update from Kakalaki? Sporadic conditions this week. Weather typical for southern states. Hot and steamy. 73 from Mr. JGQ. All right, Neil. It is summer all the way around. 106 here. The Central Valley, California day. But I think you're familiar with those temperatures as well as you hung out here a little bit. Coarsegold sounding good under 145. Let's see how Coarsegold sounds under 195. Hello, Jim. All right, good evening. I got you in through the skip. I hope you're hearing me tonight, and hopefully it sounds like you've obviously got power, and hopefully there's no smoke and fire where you are at. Thanks for checking in.
Comment.
All right, thanks. And the comment, go ahead, over.
Yeah, just make sure Louie and Dave 544 got checked in.
Louis got checked in. I heard him direct before the program, and Dave 544 also got him checked in just moments ago. He was still hanging in there with a very good signal.
Good deal. All righty. Well, I did my my duty, my good deed for the evening. Appreciate it, and appreciate everything you do, Dennis. 73.
All right. Well, I couldn't do it without everybody's help. It also likes to hang out on Saturday evenings, and 35 years of radios, and really, we get a lot of nice comments. The other thing that is great about this, not just the radios, but the demeanor and our operators. This is really, if you're listening to the old Tube Radio Network, when we start checking in radios, you can be pretty much guaranteed this is what it sounded like. Not only the radios, but just how people talked in 40, 50 years ago. Really have a great crew, if you will, on this net for 2 hours. So it's nice to know that CB radio still still functions like it's supposed to once in a while. Let's try SWL 226. Yeah. I can get my radio kit, but the break OTR, go ahead, over. Okay, up on the hill, I've got you beaconing through all the heat and the noise and the smoke, over. All right, up on the hill there. Probably having trouble hearing me, but we got you in, over. And let's see, anybody else wanting to check in while we listen in, over. The break OTR, go ahead, over. All right, 650 on the hill. Not sure you can pull me out of the mud, but you are sounding good in beautiful Midtown Fresno, over. All right, 650 is checked in.
Who is it out there, 101 back?
All right, I will be right back. We're going to set up for the Tube radios, and we want to do that here at close to 9 o'clock. The old Tube Radio Network will be back in moments. Skipper's rolling in, but we will give it a try on your old tube radio network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
And people are cheering. That is some big fanfare for some hopefully big radios coming our way, coming your way. The Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California, 27085 the frequency, streaming live at oldtuberadio.net and also on YouTube with some type of something going on. And of course, the main thing going on is your glow-in-the-dark radios produced mainly from 1958 to 1978. Our radio collectors are at the ready. So let me find out what's happening and say OTR listening.
Hey, man, been a celebrating birthday, man, at 12 o'clock. That's a doggone show. You old baby sit around, man. Come on.
I'll sign in here for July 11th, 2020. Hey, Paul, you're going to be brave and be our first radio tonight. Over.
Okay, we'll give it a whirl. Well, I'll tell you what, we sure got a lot of noise out there tonight. Anyway, I want to check in my Browning R2700 receiver.
All right, you've got the Browning R2700. What are you pairing that with on the transmitter?
Okay, the transmitter is a nice 23S9 transmitter. I'll get to them kind of go down the road of the thing.
All right, let me see. I'm going to see if I've got a shot of the... Yeah, I do. The 23S9 transmitter. Let me get the right lineup here. Here we go. Browning, courtesy of Paul. This might be the one. It says it's from your collection. Here's the transmitter. Give us a transmission.
Yeah, okay, that's it. That is the one I know. I think that's a 1961 model, and the R2700 receiver was 1959. And believe me, I think all of you will say this too. This is the first Browning receiver manufacturer. It's only 5 crystal control, VFO, 23 channels, and it's got a manual microphone switch on the thing. Back to you.
And the model number on the receiver is the 2700. I know there's different 2700A, but it's the 2700. Over.
Yeah, there should be a picture there. I know there's a picture in there on 2700. It's not a real good picture, but I know you got it in there on Roger Brown 2700.
There we go. I've got one right there, R2700. Yeah, I would say it's simple, but it actually has some controls. It has a rear view. Let's see what's going on with that. Okay, there's the cables coming out. The items of interest. Let's go back to the other view. So this was the introduction to Browning Laboratories, pretty much in the early '60s.
Yeah, this is definitely not lots of big boys with the big wings on it. This is just a straight Browning R2700 with that receiver on the thing and the microphone. The microphone, I got it kind of, it's original mic on the thing, a banana mic, but I got a Heil cartridge in the thing. Remember when years back, Heil was selling cartridges for these things, and lucky enough I got one. It's pretty loud, but Heil makes pretty good cartridges. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a good match. I'm just listening to the audio. Good match for the transmitter. The Browning doesn't allow, the way they do the audio, they don't allow for much in the frequency response below 200 hertz. So if you get a nice Heil element, which in Bob Heil usually likes to get that articulation in the, 1.5, 2K, 2.5K range, should play real well, and it does on the Browning. Over.
Yeah, okay, definitely. Boy, it's kind of rough out there, Dennis. Hey, thanks for checking in. I'll be listening if I can hear you.
Yeah, it is noisy. Getting some reports Also from some of the other stations saying that, let's see, Idaho's not even hearing California anymore. And it seems like California's not even hearing California anymore. But thanks for getting us started off. Radio number 1, the Old Tube Radio Network. The Browning Laboratories, the R2700 is the receiver paired with the 23S9 transmitter. And as always, we love the ping. It sounds good. And we've got you checked in.
Thanks, Dennis.
They're talking about grid squares, DMO6. That's where I'm at. Not too far, DMO7 up to the north. There's a CM something, right? CM96 is off to the west, I think. So there was a beacon in Madera. Or no, it was Merced on, was it 28290? That would be about the closest one I know of. So if you hear that beacon on 28290, you'll probably be hearing us here on the Central Valley. OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network. We're looking for radio number 2.
Number 2.
And hello, number 2. I think we're still in Browning Laboratories, but we may be a little bit newer than 1960. Over.
I'm at number 7, radio number 2. There we go. R68T68 from Browning.
And actually, number 2 is out there listening. Let me go to the advertisement for the R68T60. And I know if Harvey is listening on the stream, he is applauding for his favorite radio tonight, or his favorite model. His favorite radio is probably sitting in the Radio Shack, but this is probably his second favorite radio since it's been in his Radio Shack as well. Sounding good. Give us a transmission. Over.
Oh, there you go. Good old Browning, and of course the Browning banana-type microphone made by Electro Voice. Yeah, it's a nice little radio, and of course the first of the series, which was the Golden Eagle.
Yeah, before this was the Eagle, which was the R27S23. What we just heard from Paul was well before they started branding anything with Eagles on the R2700 23S9, so a little bit of chronological history. Let me see what it says on the ad. I think I can kind of make out the type here. It says the new Golden Eagle represents the ultimate in citizen band base stations after introduction of the original Eagle in 1964, which was the first complete base station with all accessories built in and manufactured after another started to incorporate features. Let's see, it's blurry. Now, the Golden Eagle, now with the Golden Eagle, we again give them something to shout at. We don't mind. After all, it has been said, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. We won't use any adjectives. The results will prove that. Browning tries just a little harder to build a little better. You know, they're saying next, right? Try one soon. Here, try one of mine. External speaker sold separately. And you're probably still looking for that external speaker. Over.
Yeah, the only ones I've seen have been on eBay at exuberant, just too much money, around $400 or something like that. So maybe I'll just have to try to get one of those little Eagles and build the darn thing myself.
Probably. You just need the Eagle applique. Probably get a pretty decent speaker and a little bit of a box, and you have got it. And our SWLs mentioning they love the short ping, just enough to tell who's the boss without being obnoxious. And indeed, Ed also runs his audio on the Eagle, so it's nice for guys wearing headphones. I don't have to sit there pulling them off. It's perfect. Over.
Well, thank you. Harvey does a great job on these radios. What can I say? And with that, we'll go ahead and let you get to it, and I'll get a couple more radios ready.
Sounds good to me. The Old Tube Radio Network standing by. Wondering where the skip is. I'm looking out. We're pretty much right at the end, past the gray line, so we'll have to see in about 90 minutes or so when Hawaii starts hitting the gray line if we hear the mini grass.
45.
And someone says check my mail. That's easier said than done with all the windows I have open. Hello, 45.
We'll give another try. Quiet it down quite a bit. I can hear it perfect. I can hear you pretty good before, but sometimes, boy, it was rough. Anyway, I want to check in my T-Berry Model T.
Yeah, let's go with the T-Berry Model T. Sounding good. I noticed the noise level is down a little bit. Skip is running away. And yeah, let's go a little bit newer with the T-Berry Model T, and I'll see which one I need to pull up, if it's the 23 channel or the 40 channel. Over.
No, the 23 channel.
All right, I've got a picture of that displaying on the screen. There it is. Nice looking radio. Over.
That's it. Yeah, it is a nice looking radio. As you know, it was made in Japan for Panasonic. They sent them over there and had them made. They did a good job on the thing. These radios are all about the same in this picture, as you know. I don't have to tell you anything about it. And they all seem to work well. Back to you.
Boy, they do. I think that might have even been plate modulated. My early introduction to CB days was 1969, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and I talked to a few of these. These were a popular radio and always loud. I want to say they probably showed up on the scene around 1971 or 72. 10 tubes. Are they all 6 volts? 12AX7 for the audio, which they did. And it says you can find out more about that in Sam's CB54, page 111. We're showing channel 23 on the picture, but I'm sure yours is doing well on channel 11. Over.
Yeah. Oh, I forget I want to put on the range gain booster thing for us. I dropped it on. Does it sound all right, Phil?
Let me go to the other camera here. Take another transmission with the range boost off.
Okay, I'd leave it off. I'll turn it on right there. And there is it on right there. Off. Sorry. Thank you.
All right, it's off. Yeah, it makes a difference for your signal, I think, and how you're running things. You definitely would like to have the range boost in the on mode. Over.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it down here. Is it comfortable enough for you? I heard it.
Yeah, here comes that skip again. Yeah, flip the switch a couple of times. It looks like it's stuck in the off position. It still sounds like it's off. Try it again. Over.
Okay, there's on, and here is off.
Yeah, big difference, at least on that. I can see definite difference in the loudness meter, but I think for the conditions tonight, you definitely want to be running it in the on mode. Over.
Okay. All right, let's get it on there. We'll just play with it. Why not go for it? It looks better on the meter anyway. It's quite a nice radio, like I said. It's nice looking, black and brushed a little bit in front, and the main cover is black, wrinkle finish. Really fine. The wife doesn't mind it being in the front room. Most of them do. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, without a wood case, the black and the chrome still gives it a more modern look. And I always liked, that's the green and red S meter. I got used to looking at that was on my Realistic Navajo. That must have been the import, the classic import S meter. Radio number 3, the T-Berry Model T. From the early 70s, sounding pretty good in 2020 tonight in the Old Tube Radio Network. Audio sounding good with the range boost on or off, but my preference is range boost on. Thanks for bringing it by. Over.
Okay. I'm running an aesthetic TMD microphone, 107 micro on the thing. So you're the power mic, which I got to cut way down, of course. but that still makes a difference. It's hard to set them in without, well, the standard micron thing. So I've got as close as I can get it. Back to you.
All right. Sounding good. You have, with your T-Berry Model T, created some interest with the Jingle Singers, and so let's head over to the Jingle Singers right now as they tell us about the Saturday night place to be. If I can get their attention, where are those Jingle Singers? Okay, there they are. You know, there is so much to do now in the green room that they are often not in front of the microphonium where they're supposed to be.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are standing by for radio number 4.
60.
Yeah, let me do that. I'm trying to get all my paperwork shuffled back so I can mark at 9:16. Joe and SWL60. Hello, radio.
Hello, Dennis. We want to check in our, I think it says Johnson Messenger 223. And I think I'm warm enough because it's kind of warm in this room with the original desk mic.
And it sounds good. E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. I will pull up from our archives a representative radio. I was trying to look. 84. It's actually not doing too bad. It's 84 in this. It's probably 74 next door in the green room. There is one of the really classic radios from E.F. Johnson. Just a good-looking radio. No frills, but it works well. They pretty much got things down with the Messenger and the Messenger 2, and they decided to make a really cool base station by adding the S meter and giving you 23 channels and making it complete, including, and I think you said you have it now, including the classic Johnson desk microphonium. Over.
Yeah, it just kind of dolls up the set. Yeah, that's the way I wanted it. As you know already, originality means a lot to me. Doggone it. Yeah, it's working well, and happy with the mic. And of course, you know, the lights on this thing are just, they're bright. No problem seeing the dial, nor the other stuff that's on there. Doggone it. Although I got to do a little bit of work, I need to spray up that volume knob. That is the volume knob, I think. The squelch is what turns it on. It's a little bit scratchy, but other than that, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to exercise those knobs a little bit. If you can't get in there rotating it back and forth with the radio off or unplugged, so you don't blow your eardrums out, and that helps a little bit. But that is why we are here on Saturday evenings to, it's like a car, right? Sometimes it just needs to be driven a little bit, and then it stops chugging. Same way with the radio. It's good to bring them by on Saturday evenings. They are more happy that way. I was going to see if I show the other, I went to the wrong thing, the other E.F. Johnson that has the modulation light in it, which you don't have, but it shows, I like it because it shows the desk microphone that you have. There it is. That's the cool microphone that Joe has with his, making all that nice sound this evening. So give us another transmission while I mark it down as Radio 4.
Okay, well, we appreciate that, Dennis. Doggone it. We're very happy with it. Doggone it, other than the little spraying that we're going to do, we're going to baby her, because we're planning to keep her for a while. And doggone it, we'll get this one turned off and get the other one turned on. Well, instant on, I should say. It'll come right on. And we'll be checking in another one here in a minute. Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for bringing it by. It sounds great here on the Gold Tube Radio Network. I wanted to answer a few questions that I Didn't answer. WS101 saying that our prior check-in, the T-Berry Model T, looks a lot like the Gemtronics GTX 5000. Yes, indeed it does, because if you were to pull the top off and look down inside, it would look probably exactly like a Gemtronics GTX 5000. The same Panasonic chassis used for that, and the T-Berry, not the T-Berry, but the Robin T123B and or the T240D if you've got the 40-channel model, which leads me to the next question from Dwayne. Was there a 40-channel also? And yes, there was. There was a 40-channel version of the T-Berry using the same chassis, same thing they did with the T123B and the T240D. I'm not sure how they worked that out, because there was a different front end depending on, who got the range boost and who got the lights and who got the mod meter and things like that. So I don't know if they had to pay more. If it's like, if you pay us more, you can get all the options. If you don't pay us, we're only going to give you the rights to put on these options on your radio. Got a late check-in for SWL44. I want to say hello to Ray. We listened for you, but I wasn't sure if you would be in the digital realm or where you would be, but you are out there now, and I'm taking a super long transmission here, but I wanted to grab everybody's comments. Let's see, there was another thing. Oh, thank you, OBP, saying don't forget the Spokane check-in, and we will do that. I will add that to the B&W 5100 here. I'll see if I can find a picture, because I don't think it's in our database. In the meantime, we are standing by for radio number 5.
Number 7.
I can do that at 9:21 on the old Tube Radio Network digital clock. I really need one of those analog sweep second hands, like what was hanging up in your second grade classroom. That would probably be more apropos for the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Go ahead with Radio 5. Over.
Well, looks like a Dwayne Miller on the chat room there. Got it right. A green radio. Tram. TR27 Echo. 23-channel transmit and receive with a Electro Voice 638 microphone.
I like it when the old Tube Radio Network can take requests and actually fulfill them. We have the greatest radio operators, don't we? They will always try to oblige when possible. TR27E from Tram. Let's go to the big picture. Let's go to even bigger picture of the big radio. Can I get the title in there? Yes, I can. Everything actually fits. And the greenness abounds. Back to you.
Yes. Well, actually teal, but close enough for green. Well, there is green in the S meter there. It doesn't go into the red. It goes into the green. Goes to 60 dBs, which I've never seen anybody do that. Probably have to park underneath my antenna. The speaker, it's a 5x7, so that gives you an idea of the size.
It's a big thing. I'm checking to see if I have a 3.5 watts, 1963. And even on the ad, I don't think they give the weight of that radio. Most of the tube radios checked in at 13, 15, 17 pounds. I'm thinking that one might come a little bit more.
Yeah, oh, sorry about that. I had a phone overmodulating and I turned that off.
Okay, well, I didn't hear it. Looks good. I'm looking at the controls on the front panel. Let me see if I can go to the extreme. There's a volume, a limiter, squelch. It's got the transmit channels, crystal controlled, of course. The receive channels, variable on the VFO. The external crystal socket, and of course it says two-way radio. That's back in the day. 1963, if you had a television and it was color, it would say color television, and it would also say solid state, if indeed it was. Nothing says solid state in color, right? Because we're all used to it. But back then, you had to know that this was a two-way radio, not to be confused with that other RCA that was sitting on the kitchen counter that was pulling in your local AM broadcast. Over.
There you go. Not just listening, but two-way where you can broadcast. And of course, there's a little modulation light down there, which blinks on the voice peaks.
And I'm looking for how many tubes. See, I don't have that listed on here. I'm going to say that's got at least 11. I don't know if you have a tube complement. There's also, I may have asked you this before, but I don't see it in my notes. On the big controls, there's one called limiter. That's what it looks like it says. And it's not a squelch. So I'm thinking maybe that was their fancy name for some type of an RF gain control or something.
Actually, that is a noise limiter, and it works very well. Volkswagen that drives through the streets, we used to make a lot of noise. Man, you turn that sucker on, and it takes it right out. Of course, there's not a lot of Volkswagens driving around now.
Wasn't that right? 1963, 64, 65, that was the car. I can't remember how many VWs there were probably just on our street. That was probably the first car a lot of people picked up. A lot of them bought them brand new. Okay, so it is a limiter. I was thinking it's a rotatable knob. It would be a switch if it was limiter, so it's a variable limiter. Does it click on and then you can adjust more to suit your limiting taste?
That is correct. You click it and it goes on a minimum, and you turn it up, and it gets more and more as it goes. So, yeah, variable. Oh, and the tubes. I happen to know that offhand. There's a 12 tubes, because one of their ads used to state that it was 13-tube performance in a 12-tube radio.
Well, I've got one of the ads, but I don't remember that, but I haven't read it all. I'll have to revisit that. Radio number 5, the Tram TR-27E from 1963. That was their top of the line. And the last of the 27 series, there were various models of that. I believe the E was their last, or their final in the series, and then probably the next model after that was the Tram Titan, because if you have a Titan or look at the Titan, you will notice it uses, the Titan and the Titan 2, I think, use that same very large S meter. So they made, made some differences. I don't know if they made improvements, but they probably gave you all 23 channels and things of that nature. Oh, I see. I do have 2 ads, but I can't bring up the other one, so I won't. Radio 5, give us another transmission. Thanks for bringing it by, and those requesting the green radio are certainly applauding you tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. I just happened to see that up there, so I figured, what the heck, I can just switch it over there, so why not? I'll be back with another radio.
All right, sounds good. Coming up on the Jingle Singers, I need to update a couple of things on my screen here, which I will do also in response to the question line. Gets a lot of compliments on the audio from the GTX 5000. Yeah, it runs a 12AX7 audio, which is a lot of the audio files like that 12AX7 tube. And I would imagine you could probably test a few and buy one of the real expensive 12AX7s and drop it in there and see if that helps at all. The other thing is, I believe the Panasonic chassis were plate modulated. So, again, you can't go wrong when you're speaking of AM, or you're talking on AM. You can't go wrong with plate modulation. Talking about the Comet here before we go to the Jingle Singers, some information from X4000 says, info on where to look, says right now it's basically the Comet item. I don't even know what the name of it is. What is the name of this Comet? It's a name I don't remember. It's not in the thing here. Someone will clue me in on that. Only visible in the early morning, probably to the naked eye, although Larry said you could see it after sunset, but I'm thinking you have to really have good conditions, be up in the mountain or something. About 1 or 2 hours before sunrise in the northeastern sky. Northeastern? Well, that's different than what he was saying. This may mean waking up at 4 a.m. local time to spot it before the comet gets lost in the daylight. Evening stargazers will be able to see the comet's starting on the week of July 13th off to the northwest. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Just below the Big Dipper. From mid-July on, it's best viewed as an evening object, rising increasingly higher above the northwestern horizon. NASA said its closest approach to Earth will be on July 22nd at a distance of 64 million miles. For comparison, the sun is about 93 million miles. Let's see, how long would that take? Now, the people that do the moon bounce do little comet bounds. You might hear yourself back in a couple of weeks. OTR is looking for those jingle singers and standing by.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
And X4000, thanks for that. The Comet is Neowise. I was going to say it was new something, but it's Neowise. So we'll be checking for that. OTR standing by.
45.
Paul, I will be right with you. Stand by, over.
Okay.
And number 7 when you get a chance.
All right, I was checking in Harvey on the crossband. So Radio 6 will be SWL 45. Paul, step up to the microphonium. And Mr. Ed, have some refreshments in the green room, and we will be with you for Radio 7. So, hello, Paul.
Okay, this is my safety type radio. I got a safety here for slow nights with strikes that are slower than normal. Normally I can't eat at all. But anyway, this is my Pierce Simpson CDB-5. That's Charlie Delta Bravo.
The Charlie Delta Bravo 5 from Pierce Simpson. There is a Pierce Simpson group on Facebook that I'm sure if they're watching now or maybe watching the playback in the future, will be certainly glad to hear and see this radio. So as we get the close-up, we'll go back to you for transmission.
Okay. Yeah, this is, as you can see by the picture, the microphone is about, well, it shows the size of the radio. The radio's not very big. I believe it's even smaller than the Johnson Messenger. But it's a real pretty little radio, and I believe, too, also, this is one of the first ones that Pierce Simpson put out, the tube CB radio. It's 59 is the year made. And to 1961, they made it all those years right there. And it's a 5-channel, crystal control, transceiver, universal, transistorized, 115 12-volt power supply. I got that off the label of the thing. I don't remember all that stuff. Anyway, good noise level on the thing, squelch, all the common things on all the radios. And it has no lights on this thing when you turn it on. You got to look inside to see the tubes are lit. When you key your microphone, you do have a transmission light on the thing, but it's no other lights than that. Very nice little radio back here.
Yeah, it could be a little disconcerting if you have the squelch turned up. Sort of like the E.F. Johnsons, you know, you turn the thing on, you rotate the squelch knob up, thinking it's the volume and nothing happens. So yeah, I got to put a keen eye through the convection cooling vents to make sure the tubes are lit. And yours are sounding good. Another early one from Pierce Simpson. This was one of their first models, 1959 to 1961. I love the look. It certainly has more of a mid-60s coloration to it. But you can tell from the lack of all channels and S-meters and trying to get an introductory radio on the market which a lot of them did. 6 or 5 channel crystal controlled, 112 volt or 117 and 12 volt with a power supply. That was very standard because typically when you first got your license in 1960, you were supposed to be talking to stations under your same call station. That's how it was. It was KEO 8492 base to mobile 1. So it was, you'd have one at home on the power supply and one in the Ford Galaxy with a 102-inch whip. And where you'd go. It sounded good. Take a transmission.
Okay. Well, just stop back on the thing. You see it on the picture how big it is. It's a comfortable, large mic. We have a hold very nicely. And it's aluminum, aluminum, plastic mic, so it doesn't weigh very much. It's all this radio is just really a nice little radio. And it is a little radio. Back to you, Dan.
I'm just checking. Carbon microphone. So that's doing well for a carbon mic. Got plenty of audio. Network output, the pilot bulb output indicator, and a TV eye trap. So in 1959, you wouldn't come over, what was it, channel 2? The low VHF channels, channel 2, 4, 5, and 6. No TVI. Today, nobody has an outdoor antenna. It's very hard to come through cable, but that TVI filter could come in handy and just an extra bonus. The original price, $179.50 in 1961, and today on the old Tube Radio Network, priceless. Radio number 6, the Pierce Simpson CDB number 5 from Paul up in North Fork. Give us one more transmission, and you have a fan. There's some people listening and say they really like the looks of that radio, and I do too. I like a lot of I think Pierce Simpson had some of the better designers of their radios. They really made them look to me, they made them look more like tabletop radios of the day with their designs and their colorings, even though their functionality, of course, was great for 11 meters. So they knew what they were doing. Give us another transmission. Over.
Yeah, okay. You're 100% right on that. I agree 100% with everything you said. They're a neat radio. They all are neat radios. So anyway, Harvey, on this one right here, when I got this one, I had no paperwork on the thing at all. Nothing. Not a schematic or anything. And it wouldn't work. So good old Harvey got it going for me, which I thank you for that. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks to man. I'll be listening.
Yeah, really nice audio. Put it up on the Orban meter, and it's doing better than most tonight. The from Pierce Simpson, produced from 1959 to 1961. I don't have a tube complement on that. My guess it's probably 7 to 9 tubes, and that is 5 channels, hence the CDB5. I'm just wondering, I know the CB5 would be channel. I wonder what the D, I wonder if the D was stuck in there for. Thanks, Paul. I'm coming up into the air chair now, stepping over from the green room for Radio 7. Appropriately enough, is Mr. Ed, SWL7, over.
Quickie.
And as Ed jumps in the chair, the Quickie, go ahead.
70 checked in from the crossband.
Okay, I put my headphoniums back on too early because I was trying to pull in Harvey. I'm not sure if he heard me or not, but I heard him. So you know what I'll do? While Ed is strapping into the chair there, we will get SWL21 checked in via the crossband. We will also get SWL70 checked in via the crossband. And then we will head over to SWL7, already checked in, but not as Radio 7. Hello, Mr. Ed.
And hello to Bozo Control. This time, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB.
SSB reminder that if you do have an SSB old tube radio, and it will get up to channel 36, a lot of the old tube radios didn't do that on sideband. We have a sideband. There's a sideband net going on, the Shebang sideband net on Friday nights at 8. But of course, with channel 11, Friday nights is a good place to stop by. I'm trying to find the photo of the radio, and there it is. We'll get the classic one we always show because it does have the microphone.
There you go. The limited edition gold-plated double-sided D104, so a golden eagle with a golden eagle, a double eagle.
Is that microphone? I'm just looking. I don't know. Maybe there's different versions of them since I don't have one. Does that take a battery, or is it no amplification?
No, it does take a battery, and was suggested there's actually a little resistor in there also to work with this radio.
Yeah, there are some modifications for the D104. There's that one ham guy that runs the 160 and, was it 80 and 40 meter radios, and he makes some board that goes into those. It's got some type of a negative peak limiter item. I've always been interested. I don't know anybody I haven't talked to anybody that's running one. I know the guys that run the AM sets say they work pretty good. I just wonder how they would work on CB stuff, getting the mod, if it would allow you to run more modulation in there but keep the negative peaks down. Although it's very hard, it really is hard to over-modulate and distort a Browning radio. And of course, as always, yours sounds very good. So we'll take another transmission on Radio 7.
Well, thank you very much. Excuse me. I was not a big fan of the D104s, and all of a sudden just started getting quite a few of them. But I have attached a normal D104 to this without the resistor, and man, the modulation needle just slams on the other side. It's like on a break. And this one's much more mellow.
I noticed that it's pretty much hard on those things not to slam the mod meter with basically anything you put in there. So I always wondered about that. I didn't like running on the mod position just for that. You think that poor little needle in there. But at least it's good to have it to know that it's working. One of the fans of Browning, clicking in now, Jimmy Fielder from Chicago, checking in on the on the 442 train here, the UTC 442, staying up late. And Jimmy should have some information coming up in future episodes. He is going to be in contact with, is it Gar Green? One of the survivors, I should say, of Browning Laboratories. And he's going to be putting together a series of questions about Browning Laboratories and the radios and the production and all of that. It should be quite interesting. So I'm assuming when that comes out, he'll be able to maybe stop by. Maybe we'll have to get him on an internet connection and have him share the connection anyway. Thanks, Jimmy, for going through the effort on that. There are a lot of people that are going to be interested on what the Browning people have to say. All right, Radio 7, let's go back to another transmission before you go away. It sounds great, as always, on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Well, thank you to the Old Tube Radio Network and all that you do anyway there, Dennis. All right, have a good one. I've got to go, so I won't be back. But we'll be taking a listen on the phone.
Okay, and we certainly will be on that. oldtuberadio.net is the live stream. I was seeing if I have a B&W 5100. Okay, that's the 5100B, but I think that will work. Let me bring that up live. And that was the radio we heard earlier tonight, checking in from Washington. When the skip was open in our gray line here tonight, first we heard the mellifluous voice of SWL30, Mr. RFI checking in, and then moments later on the B&W 5100. And I think 509 said it was highly modified. It had some great audio modifications. But that's the radio, the transmitter that he is using. Not sure what he was using for a receiver, but on the OTR, that's what we're hearing, the transmitter. So it's very okay if you only have a transmitter and don't have the receiver part to go with it that's tubes. We will certainly get it checked in on the list. And this is an old non-Class D radio made before 1959 that has the 11-meter amateur band, and you dial it in on the VFO. So obviously not crystal controlled when they went Class D. They put the crystal control. FCC said, you really need to be crystal controls. We want to channelize things to make things easier. But the 11 meters still exists, and occasionally we do get the amateur transmitters. But this is the big iron that checked in earlier from 509, who has checked in many times with us. So that will be radio number 8 tonight. The old Tube Radio Network is standing by.
Very good, TR.
Hey, you made it in. I don't know if you were hearing my pipsqueak signal on the crossband. Over.
Oh, no, you sounded good. You sounded excellent. Okay. Check this radio in. Let me know how it sounds. It's going to be a little low on frequency, I think. But this is that Robin T123B. One of them that I was working on. The receive was sounding a little funny, so I replaced the speaker, and now, Dennis, you sound like Dennis.
You sound like the basic Dennis. Boy, that's got really, really nice audio. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit. I know you're tired, so I won't keep you too long. See what you're doing with the audio. I know it's got the range expand. This is the earlier version we had. What was early? That came the T-Berry Model T. This is the same radio as the 23-channel version of the T-Berry Model T that runs the Panasonic chassis. And it will also give you a frequency check as well to confirm what you already know. You are Radio 9. Yeah, if you get to hear the replay, you will be happy with the audio. Back to you.
Okay, well, if you say it sounds okay, that's enough for me. Yeah, I'm probably a couple of kcs below 085. I do have the extra thingy on, but because I wanted to make sure you could hear me. At the bottom here. Turn up a little, I would say about 1/4. With the range boost off. That's the range boost on. Talking about arm's length into a amplified D104. And that's the range boost off again.
All right, we've got one of those Goldilocks and the Three Bears situations. With the range boost off, it's a little low, but the clarity isn't bad. It's just it's on the low side, as you know. So there may be a way to work the microphone to make that sound. With the range boost on, the percentage is there, but it's just a bit on. It's not as clear. A little bit on the fuzzy side. I was listening to you on sideband, and I noticed a little bit of that. There is no, what I can tell, even with the Harvey range boost, which sometimes accentuates this, there's no AC hum at all that I can tell. Of course, I'm not running through a scope to take a look at that, but I don't hear it to my ear on the headphoniums. And when I went to the sideband to check here frequently, you are at 27084.7.65. So you're only about 350 cycles low. So you're well within FCC specs. Over.
Okay. Well, let me turn the box off and see what happens.
All right, before you do that, I just noticed I'm looking at the S meter. There is the range boost on right now?
No, the range boost is off.
Okay, I'm looking at your forward movement on the meter. Before the Harvey range boost goes away, turn the range boost back on.
Okay, range boost is on. I'm about the same distance from the microphone.
Okay, I'm still seeing the same amount of movement, just a little bit more positive. I think it's like the range boost could be on. That gives you some good fidelity, but you may have too much. With the range boost on, you have a little too much gain going into the radio. All right, go ahead with without the Harvey range boost. Over.
Okay, this is just the radio. Frequency-wise, on the frequency counter, it shows about the same thing. I was wondering if with the last thing. So basically, before when I punch this up and send it to where it's going, back to Sacramento, I will just slightly tweak the frequency, get it right on.
Yeah, you're still at 84. I'm going to say 84.6. 200 cycles low. I went to sideband. Your audio is a little, signal audio is a little bit weak, but I could hear your carrier heterodyne. So you're good on frequency. And I'm assuming that you have the range boost on. If not, it would definitely help with the signal you're at now, but I'm hearing you 100% over.
Okay, now I turn the range boost on, and I'm just talking without the quote Harvey range boost, which you know what that is. So I'm trying to not do that. Okay, regular, normal, actual range boost.
All right, perfect. And see, that is just a great display of what the range boost is supposed to do. Now, the distortion I talked about that was minimal, since your signal to noise ratio is, more noise than signal, I guess, I don't really hear the distortion as much. But when you get the 5 dB over 9, you hear it a little bit more. So it's working fine, and it definitely helps to bring you out of the noise by putting the range boost on for the audio. The range gain, or whatever they call it, range expand. I don't want to get too many range boosts and expands confused there. Radio number 9, we're talking with Harvey on the T123B from Robin. That is the infamous, hey, it's green too. That's the infamous Panasonic chassis imported from Japan that was many different radios shared that from 1972 to 1976, and then they switched to the 40-channel version of that chassis in 76 when the FCC decided you could do that. It is an 11-tube radio, and it has 12AX7 in the modulator mic preamp. So that helps with the audio as well. I think I would give it a clean bill of health, not only on frequency, but on audio as well. Over.
Okay. Believe it or not, the 5104, put it here to speaker, hold it away. Anyway, range boost off. Yeah, this is going to go up north, and I told him, play with it. Obviously, it's radio. The modulator is 7189, and the final is 7189. Now, one last test, probably next week, but taking this up in 4 weeks, so I get to play with it maybe, on OCR another 3 times, but not that early. I'm going to find a couple of really good CQ5, stick them in there and see what happens. One of the more notorious problems with this radio is the tuning plugs in the inductor. The glue, the glue or whatever they put in there to keep them from sticking, from moving. Man, you could tear them up, trying to free that up. And I cannot free up 2 of the, at least one. One of them I can, so I adjust it in. But I can adjust it on the back. But I cannot get this thing to do a consistent forward swing, no matter what I do, because I can't adjust those other 2. So it's probably going to stay the way it is. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, I'm going to turn it back to you. I'm going to check in one more radio, and then I'm going to get David in rest.
Yeah, you definitely want to get some rest. It was a little hard to copy because you turned your range boost, the radio audio range boost off. But I caught most of that. And it sounded like it was, tuned not too bad. I was definitely seeing a little bit of movement on the meter, even without, when you had the the stronger signal even without the range boost on. So typically that's a good sign that it's not, you haven't over peaked it on the unmodulated AM carrier. And the audio sounded, like I said, sounds good. The range boost helps. So if you had amplified, it's probably set up for an amplified microphone. If you have an amplified microphone, you obviously don't need to have the range booster on. The Robin T123B, I'm just seeing if there's any questions for you before you go. Yeah, everybody else saying the range boost definitely improves the audio. So I think you are good to go, and you can wrap it up. Over.
Okay. Yeah. Hardly any forward sway. And with the range boost, I have to back off the mic to get forward swing. Let me leave it on. Anyway, I've got a couple other 123V chassis. I'm going to check them out, see if there's something I can do and get some decent swing out of this thing. I don't know, with both 7189s in there, maybe I'm kind of overdoing it with the power out and the modulator. So I'm going to get a couple of decent 6PQ5s during the week and put them in, see what happens. I have noticed a difference in the tank coil area, the final tuning. This one's got a little capacitor in there, and two of the chassis do not. So I might change that around a little bit, just to see. Okay, one more to check in. Oh, and by the way, my frequency went up. I bet you it's 080 right now. Go ahead, go sideband and tell me. Yeah, my freak counter says 084.8, and it's two little bitties below yours, I think.
Yeah, I just checked it, and I'm showing 84.86. So mine's 6 high, so exactly 84, 27.0848. So it did go up about 200 cycles. Sounds good. I see the 6BQ5 is the V6 and V10, the RF power amp and the first amp. And it's loud. It just, like I said, just a little fuzzy when you around the edges when you add the range boost, but it needs that extra gain. So maybe it's something in there is saturated. There is a marriage that needs to be between probably the microphone gain and the range expand audio gain to make it nice and maybe something saturated. But it's loud and it sounds good. And if you hear the playback, I think when you were full quieting, you will be happy with the way things are, even if you don't do nothing. Over.
Okay, I'm going to do nothing now. I'll go to the other radio, check it in, and then get out of this room. I didn't turn the air on in here because I wasn't home, and it's hot in here. Okay, I'm out off of this one, going to the other.
Okay, thanks for Radio 9, the Robin T123B. And that's another thing we do here at the Old Tube Radio Network is if you need to check a microphone or want to do some testing, this is again the forum to do that with your tube radios. Jingle Singers want to do something. Let me also, before we go over to the other studio, say hello to Mike, Mr. Cobra, SWL 13. Sounds like I'm starting to get some RF into my headphones here. So that must mean it's time to sign off. Mike, I've got you. If you're listening in, I can't. For some reason, my comments don't work to type. I can see them, but I can't respond to them. Also, SWL 78. Richard waving a hand, saying hello from, where are you, Richard? Everett, Washington, up there or somewhere. I don't know where you are tonight, but that's where sometimes you are. So we've got you checked in. Jose wanting to know if anyone can help him setting up an SDR. You know who could help you with that? And he's probably not listening anymore because he has one. He runs one. Is Larry, SWL40. He does an SDR dongle radio thing. I don't have one here, so I'm not good at giving out info on that. The Jingle Singers are ready to go, so let me head over to the other studio. We didn't get a Q-Bird tonight. They're supposed to have that song. I'm kind of curious to hear that, but
Let's do some spelling.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
All right, I've just got too many screens to look at here. OTR standing by, counting and amounting, and waiting for Radio 10 if it's there.
10's here.
Hey, 10. Go ahead. I think I know what that might be, but give the wheeze a squeeze.
Who, me or the other guy?
SWL20 over.
Well, see, if I let the other guy go, then I could be 11. But I don't need to be 11 because I'm already an OTR. Anyway, this one should have some forward swing to it. Unamplified D104 on the Browning Golden Beagle T68 by Browning Laboratories. Custom D104 with the Browning medallion on the back of the D104. Okay, I've checked the puppy in, and I'm going to let her go and catch you next week. I'm tired and it's hot.
You're hot and tired and sick and tired. Well, you're not sick and tired. You actually you did well tonight. I checked you in on the crossband. You got into the radio room. We checked you in there, not only with one, but two radios. You got us into double digits with the Browning Laboratories R68, T68 Golden Eagle. Looks good and sounds good on the meter tonight, so you are done. You can hang your OTR hat up in the shack and know that you've done good tonight. Thanks, Harvey.
All righty. You take care. I'll be back next week.
Okay, and who is Harvey mentioned another station which I did not hear. If there's another station that would like to check in, OTR's listening.
Yeah, Dennis, this is 60. We'll make it quick there. We'd like to check in our Robin T123B. Doggone it, with all the pretty lights.
Another popular radio tonight. I should say a popular chassis. And this one, again, under the guise of the Robin, the T123B. I'll put the picture back up that I had earlier. I don't know if you were listening in moments ago. Harvey was on taking some transmissions on his T123B, and I don't know if you heard the audio, but that is what I think he said a D104 sounds like if you're not using the stock microphone, and his sounded very nice. Had some good fidelity to it. Yours nice and clear. I don't hear any distortion at all, fuzziness or what have you, with the supplied microphonium. So Radio 11 sounding good. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Doggone it. We're happy with this radio, and I think it's happy here. This is the original stock mic, little bitty guy. It's the original one. Like I say, it has a lot of pretty lights on it. We won't stay too long on the airway here, but it has a couple of added features. I think it has from channel 1 to channel 9, 35. It goes as high as 35. So there's a little added feature to this. It has your text light, your RX light, your external speaker light, your modulation light, and your PA light. Pretty little radio. Everything works and it sounds good. Okay, Dennis, I'll let the old channel rock.
All right, very good. And our green radio contingent is waving the green radio flags has yet another radio with, it's pretty cool. It's got the little inserts, the colored knob inserts, and the stripe across the bottom. Trying to get like Pierce Simpson with the great designs. Now, remember, Pierce Simpson was 10 years ahead of this with their CDB5, although that was a little bit of a blue. The Panasonic chassis, again, 11 tubes. And this one's got all originals. The original microphone, the original 12AX7, and the 6BQ5s where they need to be. Oh, before you go, are you running that? Can't remember if I've asked you. This radio will do 12 volt and 112 volts. Are you running it plugged into the wall, or have you got a power supply?
No, this was plugged into the wall. Doggone it, just before the band started, we plugged it into the wall because it has instant on.
Oh, that's right. It's to keep you ready to go. But probably a good idea if you're not going to use it all the time to run it that way. And then, of course, if you have the DC power cord, you can run that on a 12-volt battery or put it into the... What was the car I heard you mention? I fell off my chair when I heard you say on the 65. Was it 65 Isetta?
The 64 Isetta.
Yeah, the 64 Isetta. The only thing is, when you open the door, everything falls out.
Yeah, I imagine it would, doggone it. I got to take a good look at it, but a friend of mine has one.
I can remember those from my youth. There was one around town, and I'm assuming I've got this right. That's the one that had the door that opened in the front of the car.
In the front.
So maybe you have to attach your radio to the door and put some type of flexible cord on that. That would be... I don't recall ever seeing a 102-inch whip on the Isetta. And I think that was... I want to say it was a German car. It never quite caught on like that other German car from Volkswagen.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked looking at it and coming up with some great ideas. Make an excellent fishing car. You're driving right up to the bank, open the door, and fish for a while.
I think so. All right, thanks for Radio 11 tonight, the Old Tube Radio Network. I'm going to do some counting and amounting here as we'll take any check-ins as we are listening. Thanks for bringing by the radio. Sounds good.
Thank you.
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Yeah, it's just a little bit on the warm side to be hanging out too long in the radio room tonight here in Central California. Although not in the Old Tube Radio Network room. We've got some circulating air. let's call for any check-ins. And Mitch says that radio would hardly fit into, and I said, I don't know. I should bring up a picture. I don't know what would fit into it. And I said, again, I don't know where the heck you would mount it. Yeah, thanks, Chrissy. Let me turn the camera back on. You're probably just getting like tired of seeing me wrestle with this. What I can do, what they did, the TV station, and we had a name. We called it like an N45 or something. It's just a clothespin, and because the TV people have IFBs and things, and they hook around your ear. But I like, especially now that I've got this white shirt on, I just having this cord go down. Maybe I can make it like a tie. Maybe that's what I should do. Just when you start doing video, when you're doing radio, you don't care. You can look like a slob, right? And now I have to look like a slob on the video, and I just don't like having the cords going across. So I run it around behind, but I should, like you said, take a clip or a clothespin or something, and that might help. This is a new really expensive Sony headphones, and it's got a really nice coiled cord, but it doesn't work well because the audio, the headphone stuff was way over there. My cheapy one that broke was much nicer because I could dress the cord. So much for do not put pictures to radio. Be glad that your CB radio does not have a camera built in like your telephone. They knew what they were doing. OTR standing by.
You can forget about putting a radio on that Acusera.
That's what they were saying. The other thing is you'd have to mount a 102-inch whip somewhere.
Well, the whip's questionable. You can probably mount that. But damn it, you got to go around the steering wheel to get out.
See, that's what I'm thinking. You'd have to have your radios attached to the door, and it would swing out. You'd have to have all these cables that would not pull out when you open the door. All right, I'll see. We were talking about it. I'll see if I can get a picture. It may not. Sometimes I can't put in all the pictures I want. The copyright things. Okay, here we go. There it is. That is the car. If you're watching the video, or you can see old2radio.net, there's the car we're talking about. And the whole front of the car opens up. So you'd have to have the radio in the back. Maybe you could strap it to the top. And yeah, there's plenty of room for the whip. That would probably be a nice little, on the back there. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you would put in that thing.
Yeah, you better stick to a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mitch, I don't know. Maybe they're scared to hear that song. I don't know what the Jingle Singers did with the song, but the first Q-Bird, I'm gonna throw it to them, and hopefully they will do their thing. So they may be safe again. Last call for check-ins here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Yeah, Joe. Mitch is saying you'd probably have to take the engine out to get the radio installed. And then you'd have to do it like a Flintstone car. But at least you'd have a radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Make that the current and final wireless hour. Wow, that was loud. Current and final totals for the Old Tube Radio Network here before something blows up. It's not bad. I remember the days when the cooling system wasn't working in here, and I was lucky to get it to 92 degrees, down to 92 degrees, and we're at 80, 84, so that's not bad. Nothing, I don't smell anything that's burning up. 11 radios tonight. Not too bad, considering a little bit hot out there to be in the radio room. 63 SWLs, which is, I don't know if that's the record for 2020, but that's getting close on the check-ins. We had 10 on page 1, 18 on page 2, 19 on page 3, and 16 on page 4. Playing the home game, you should be checking things in on the second week, 7/11/2020. Radios tonight. Let's see. What do we want to put? Let me bring up the REA meters for the video. Started with Paul on the Browning Laboratories R2700 at 23S9. A lot of early radios tonight. 1959, 1960. Sounded good, Paul. Thanks for jumping in. I know it was weather and some power outage, and there may be a fire going on, so hopefully everything's cool. Radio number 2, Mr. Ed on the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68. Oh, and I didn't say, what was the most heard manufacturer tonight? Was it the Robins? They had 2. But the Brownings came in with 4 tonight, so looks like a Browning kind of evening, although lots of other stuff. The T-Berry Model T from Paul, that was the 23-channel version, using the Panasonic chassis, the plate-modulated chassis that we heard a couple other times under the guise of a Robin. The E.F. Johns Messenger 223, cool-looking radio. You want to start your collection, you want to get a first OTR, that is the one. That's the one to look for. Great radio. Audio always sounds good. The receiver is great. And usually the prices aren't too bad. Radio number 4 from Mr. Hustler tonight. Radio 5, the Tram TR27E. It ain't easy being green. Mr. Ed on Radio 5. Radio 6, Paul on the Pierce Simpson CDB5 from 1960, 59, 60, 61. Pierce Simpson has been around for a long time. And then, of course, they were a big manufacturer in the solid state early 70s craze with a lot of radios. They made a lot of radios, different models, all kind of named after cats. If you like cats, you would like the Pierce Simpson line of radios in the early 1970s. The BW 5100 that we heard during roll call from 709 out of Spokane, during our little, 30-minute e-skip, where once again, like merging onto the freeway, Dwayne just kind of slides into the passing lane and says 30 checking in, and then he's gone. That during our little e-skip tonight, 5100 BMW 5100 709, and of course Chrissy and Dwayne checking in live from Idaho. Radio number 9, the Robin T123B. That was Harvey testing that radio out, and it sounds good. Audio is good and everything. So, no problem on where that's going to go. I hope we'll be able to hear it checking in sometime. The Browning Laboratories R68 T68 Golden Eagle. The Laboratories Golden Beagle, that's how I should say, from Harvey for Radio 10, and then Joe on the Robin T123 Bravo. Let's see, I didn't say hello to Captain Robert, who is out there recuperating. Hope you're feeling better there, Robert. Thanks for checking in tonight. I saw you up on Old Radio Night. Hey, look who's waving a hand. Hello, Joanne is listening in. And OTR owes a debt of gratitude to her husband Bob, who has provided many, not only information, but many a radio that has been checking into the Old Tube Radio Network here for many, many years. So, Joanne, thanks for knocking on the OTR door tonight. And some of them are still checking in, yes. And she was also looking for some radios, homes for some of the radios. So check her posts for radios and parts. I know if you check some of Jimmy Fielder's Facebook sites, you will see links to that. So, and they're always in really super great condition. And we're always tickled pink. We're always thrilled to use an old phrase. We're always tickled pink and thrilled when some of those radios make it here to the Central Valley and get checked in and go worldwide on the Universal Media Network. 73, everybody, the old Tube Radio Network here on Saturday evenings. Glad you could check in. Hope you do something like this, a Get on the Air night wherever you are in your area. Oh, and we encourage that. Also, if you're studying for your amateur radio license, the band is getting better, right? Cycle 25 is on its way. So you'll have even more fun with more opportunities and more frequencies. Good night, everybody, from the old Tube Radio Network.
Thank you much, Dennis. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, I need to turn off the video as well. Actually, I don't know what I did. The port is behaving. Oh, you know what I did? I turned the headphone around. I strung it around this way. It's sort of behind my collar. And then down it goes. It's just, you know, it's that TV thing. You should not have cords draping all over yourself. In the background, there's cords all over, but I can get away with that. I would check out the 10-meter beacons, but I don't think anything's happening. Maybe we can do a quick, because I need to get out of this room. It's a little too hot. Check a quick 75 meters. Let's see what's happening on the... Wait, there's nothing. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong antenna. Hold on. There we go. Got any AM activity? Why? Must be too hot on the West Coast for the AM guys.
I'll put my hand.
Don't hear an AM carrier at all in 3870. But the band is open. All right.
Such a good amplifier, and worth quite a bit of money. Not that that has anything to do with anything. It really doesn't. That's never been my purpose in collecting this stuff.
Let's try 40 meters. Where's my lousy antenna?
What do you got on tap there, Dan? Over.
Yeah.
7, Juliet, Romeo, Papa.
7175, 7225. There's a contest going on this week. Not a lot of activity. All right, we'll do a quick 10-meter beacon run. And we'll be out here at Birdie's. Now, I think the E-skip is closed down here. That's not to say it won't come back. All right, try it at 4 in the morning. And the comet goes by. 60 million miles away.
Russia, especially China. Oh, they've got a...
Oh, hey, there we go.
It was pretty quiet in here, and all of a sudden, boom, there you were.
All right, some of the AM guys aren't. All right, good night, everybody. 73 from the old Tube Radio Network. here in sunny California. And we are going to power down the filament on the 6L6 at oldtuberadio.net. And John Lee saying they saw an ice at the dealership. There was a dealership? Night, everybody. How the heck do you turn this thing off?